Greetings, what is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a new audio setup in a new location. Okay, albeit within the same building that is my home. But yeah, we got some new toys. Everything seems to be set up. I hope that everything is clear. On this occasion, I would very much value your feedback regarding the levels of the game and my voice. Is everything clear and audible? Is the game too loud? Is my voice too loud? Does anything sound distorted? The levels all look fine to me, but then again, I've done a couple of test videos, which is how come we're a little way into this game already. You know, I really do value your feedback because it really is only from hearing from you guys out there listening to the channel that I can really sort of get any idea as to whether this is a good setup and whether the settings are correct or not. Because although it might sound okay listening to it back over my setup, that's actually just really different to how it sounds to everyone else sometimes. So, yep, would value some feedback. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce the two players to you. Spawning in the south, playing as the Overcommand West pieces, it's going to be Animal Killer. And spawning in the north, playing as the Soviet forces, it's going to be Popco. And Popco here, going to go ahead and pick Airborne Soviet Tactics straight away here. It's going to have been a Kubelwagen opening. Double Kubelwagen, double Storm Pioneer. Okay, so Animal Killer out here with a little bit of spice. This is an unusual and, at least for me, unseen approach to OKW tactics. So this is a little odd. Hopefully this is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing something spicy here. So I don't know. Let's take a look here first. So Popco is going for, that's a rifle, that's a special rifle command opening here. So we've got penals on the field, penals and conscripts. Okay, mixing it up a little bit. It's rare that we actually see a special rifle command opening with airborne tactics. So I am already, this is already clearly quite a cool game to have jumped into. A lot of unusual stuff is popping off in this game. So yeah, let's see where these two players are going to take this game. It's early days yet, no great shakes have been inflicted, no massive damage being dealt by either player just yet. But I mean, this is a punchy composition. Two Kubelwagens gives you substantial maneuverability and the ability to chase retreating squads. And Storm Pioneers are an inherently punchy unit. Looks like Animal Killer here is going to already respect the fact that it's a special rifle command opening, so we've got the early Kettenwerfer on the roster. That should help counter the Scout Car. So, yeah, cool. Oh, man. Jumped into a good one this morning. I'm feeling it. Feeling it. So this is, I'm excited already. This is looking, wow, we've got Panzer Fusiliers. Wow, it's going to be a breakthrough doctrine pick. Okay, these two players are bringing the spice as far as their builds are concerned. This is nice. I'm ready for this. So, good God, there's a lot going on. As these two players, I mean, there's no Fausts in this army. I suppose there are now, there will be shortly. I mean, it's not quite Faust, it's the anti-tank rifle grenade, but like, there's a Faust analog now in the army. But yeah, this Scout Car is like pretty unpunished here. Oh, he says, as the Kettenwerfer acquires and destroys that one. A nice hop out there. I think he got those penals out just before the actual unit got destroyed. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, the penals are going to be safe. So was the Scout Car worth it? I don't know, probably not really. He didn't manage to inflict too much disruption, but it's a relatively low opportunity cost gamble, the early Scout Car for Soviet forces. So that's not the end of the world by any means. So yeah, the mixed skirmishing going on right now for the midline of the map, but it is the OKW player who is just about taking the upper hand. Resource differential, nearest makes no difference even, but about a 41 ticket score lead now for the OKW player. Nothing to write home about, of course, but it is value gained. And of course, it did actually wipe out that Scout Car. So that's also material gains there as well. Have we seen any rifle crate drops? Nope, no rifle crate drops. So the munitions so far has been spent on a metal detector and, I don't know, possibly a demo charge or something on the map. I don't know where the... Oh, there it is, flamethrower. That's where the other munitions went. So, okay. All right. I like what I'm seeing now, but I do worry for Popco now, because with the Scout Car going down, we've basically got a rifleman-based... I mean, there is no diversity, there is no special capability in this list here, and we don't even have the ability to build Maxim guns. Okay, nice. Okay, I was just going to say, I actually feel like he really does need to go for the Sport Armor Campanaya, because if you're not going to be able to build Maxim guns or Zis guns as this game moves forward, it's like you're just going to get beaten by Axis stuff, like just as soon as an MG34 comes onto this list. You know, he's already got 2 Kubel, he's already got... I mean, I'm loving this army, actually, for Animal Killer. This is a really sick opener. This is making me want to get back on the ladder and play OKW. So it was double Kubel, double Storm Pioneers into double Panzer Fusiliers, and he mixed in a Kettenwerfer to counter the Scout Car. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of this Animal Killer build here. So, I mean, let's check the tech. It is, of course, going to be Battle Gripper HQ. That is what we're used to seeing from OKW players these days. It gets you the medics. It gets you the option of a flat half-track if that's your bag. And it also gets you the Ligue guns, which is kind of becoming pretty ubiquitous, actually, to be honest, which is actually nice to see. I'm a big fan, as you all know, of the Ligue gun, so I do like to see Ligue guns mixed in, and I believe that's what we're going to see here. Metal detectors popping up a bit. Whoa, hang on, did he lose a squad of phenols? I don't think he did, actually. It was only one squad of phenols, wasn't it? Okay. Wow. But this Soviet roster feeling outclassed. Look at the minimap, you can see. The Axis player is definitely dictating the terms of engagement and is out-muscling the Soviet player right now. Sport Armor Campanile has finished, and the much-needed Maxim gun will be the first choice here. But Jesus, look how much clout this Axis roster has. He's so mobile. It feels... How's he just gotten all this manpower? It feels like this should be quite a difficult unit roster to achieve. Double Storm Pioneer, that's 600 manpower. The Kubels are cheap enough, but then you've got double Panzer Fusilier and a Kettenwerfer. I mean, this is a really nice composition. If he mixes in an MG34 next, he is almost bulletproof as far as I'm concerned. Like, that is a great composition. So a Kubelwagen here is getting whittled down. He just sneaks it out of the fire on a pixel of health. So that's nice. Storm Pioneers are actually right here on site, so they can repair more or less in situ. Kubelwagen's applying pressure. Storm Pioneers applying pressure. There are more Soviets here than there are Axis forces. Axis forces basically probably going to need to fall back, repair, rearm here momentarily. The Maxim gun is now out. So that one is going to just be taking care of the backfield for now, but that's actually going to help massively because Storm Pioneers are a lot less good when there's Maxim guns around, basically. Also, the Maxim gun is does decent enough damage to Kubelwagens that are silly enough to be in its arc, so you know that's useful too. So Popco not really getting much value out of this commander yet, to be honest. And like I said earlier, it's unusual to see airborne tactics go with a special rifle command opening, because one of the best early game features of this commander, of course, is that you can call in the SVD crates, and Penal Battalion just already have SVDs. Now I know you can put the crates onto Penal Battalion, but that gives them PPSHs, which oftentimes, in fact usually, I don't think players really want. Not in the early game anyway. That's more of a mid game upgrade, in my opinion anyway, because early game, I mean, PPSHs on Penals, it's just you really just want them firing with SVDs. So, alright, now we're starting to see some weapon crates dropping in. That's for the conscripts there. So now we've got SVDs on conscripts. I'm scratching my head trying to figure out this build here. He gets one of the Kubelwagens here, that is nice. Is that on the back of AT? No, he doesn't have AT grenades. That would be pretty early AT grenades there, but I mean, when your opponent has double Kubelwagen, actually that thing is only abandoned. There's a very real chance. Okay, no, Maxim gun's gonna probably put the finishing touches on that Kubelwagen. Ooh, this Maxim gun is getting whittled down. Panzer Fusiliers with the G43 upgrade are not taking prisoners, to be honest. And the Maxim is going to sneak away, but yeah, these boys have the DPS for sure. Zisgun getting added into the roster here, that's pretty sensible. As long as he's able to defend this thing, it should go on to do pretty well here. And it's a good insurance policy, because you haven't been able to scout your opponent's base. You actually don't really know what the... you know, if this was a mechanized reg, then a Panzer II would be arriving in the next minute or two, and that would be nasty. Or actually, it would have already been here, sorry. So yeah, you do need the Zis gun to just not die to a Panzer II. That makes a lot of sense. We'll probably see anti-vehicle grenade research start up soonish, if it's not already on the queue for the Soviet player. It's already done, yep, there we go. So Schwerpanzer HQ comes down way out in west. That's in a decent position for guarding this fuel point, and it's going to get established with no harassment whatsoever. Obviously, the risk of putting these tech buildings out on the map is that they get discovered by the Allied player and then they get punished for the positioning. But there was no danger of that. The Allied player was firmly on the back foot, so kind of Animal Killer doing that whole expanding while attacking thing that we sort of see in StarCraft quite a lot. It's a similar logic here. How can your opponent attack your exposed expansion position if they are reeling from your aggressive assault on their half of the map? Obersoldaten are going to be mixed into the roster here straight away out of the out of the Schwerpanzer HQ, and that makes sense. I'm loving this Axis composition. Yeah, he's lost one of the Kubelwagens, but I mean, those are the most expendable parts of this roster, the parts that you kind of really don't expect to last too long in the game. And now, Obersoldaten, double Panzer Fusilier as core infantry, with double Storm Pioneer support. This is a cool roster. And it seems to be paying dividends. I mean, this has got so much clout. He's been able to contain the Soviet player, if I correct the tack, more or less into this area of the map for most of the game. So, pardon me. You don't need me to tell you. Oh my god, I've actually got a cough button now. I should use it. I will remember to. So now, stage 2 is remembering to use the button that I now have. Yeah, up to double Maxim gun, and I think that is going to help. This is basically a defensive game so far for the Soviet player. Oh no, Panzer Fusilier is getting hung out to dry, and the fallback is way too late, so Animal Killer here, getting punished for an obvious mistake. Depote Co, with that squad wipe, that is probably going to be enough to shift the balance of power in these next engagements so that Popco can actually get out on the map. Additional SVD crates dropping into the base as these conscripts fall back. They're going to be able to pick those crates up with perfect timing here, so that's really nice. Kettenwerfer gets surrounded out of mid, and now I believe Popco has basically broken this lock. On the back of a nice defensive game featuring double Maxims, well supported by good core infantry with SVDs, and yeah, I reckon Popco should be able to break out here. Most of the Axis units, or a lot of them, are back at base repairing, rearming. It's just mixed or scattered Axis forces, although having said that, Animal Killer on his way out the door, able to establish the double cutoff, so the Soviet player receiving literally no additional income right now. That's pretty rough. Was that the Kubelwagen going down? No. And wow, these Storm Pioneers up to 2 stars of veterancy, that represents a massive DPS jump for them, and they're going to use that to force the other Maxim out. But now, whoa, they're going to, oh god, this is risk now. This is definitely a chance for squad wipe on a really well, not veteran, but a really valuable squad. Pulling back through negative cover. I'm amazed that he decided to move there. If you just stand still for 2 more seconds, you get a lot more chance at squad wipe bullets into that squad, and those are really meaningful. So I'm kind of amazed he moved those units that way. Maybe he has them in a group, or maybe he was looking somewhere else when he moved them, or you know, something. A lot of reasons that can happen, but I would have liked to have seen those attempted shots at a squad wipe there. Okay, so the LMG-34 is done on the Obersoldaten, so that makes them quite scary. Actually, the Maxim has them in arcs, so that's pretty good. Schwerpanzer HQ is done. Third squad of Obersoldaten. Holy. Okay, Animal Killer just has some pretty radical thoughts and ideas about how OKW should be played, and I've got to admit, I'm loving it. He's living his best composition out here on the ladder, and it's exciting to watch. Look, he's still keeping the bloody pressure on. It's insane. I can't believe that Popco has still been constrained into this area of the map now. Trailing by about 110 victory points, and just having a really rough time of it. Tank of V Battalion Command is just actually not done. So Popco has actually got the money for that though, so just needs to be built really. But that probably means that they're not going to be going for a T-70. Kubelwagen gets taken out here. I think that was just like the Maxim. No, it was the Maxim guns that killed it, yeah. So that's crazy. This whole game is crazy. Okay, so now the Guards paratroop geezers are spawning out of buildings over here, airborne geezers, whatever you want to call them. And that should help the Soviet player gain control, hopefully, at last, over a fuel point. That would be really nice. These Panzer Fusiliers with G43s are actually trading super well from this light cover, though. I can't believe how long they're taking to die here. What did they get, a 2-star? Is that a survivability increase? No, that is normally 3-star, yeah. So wow, these guys are actually just trading out super well over here. Guards paratroopers going to close the range here. But now 2 squads of Storm Pioneers roll into the hood, so I don't think Popco is going to be able to take this fuel point. Jeez. Oh my god, the Storm Pioneers are even going to get aggro on the fallback path here. These conscripts are kind of stuck here. He should fall them back right now, because they have to fall back through the Storm Pioneers. Oh god, he really wants those guards airborne. I don't think he's going to get them, but that was close. These conscripts now are super exposed. Some kind of grenade comes down. Okay, they're going to fall back. Oh, of course, yeah, you can move down here now. I forget that this map was changed. Yeah. Okay, all right. Things are okay. They don't have to fall back through the Storm Pioneers like I thought. And like, the contain continues. Animal Killer is just continuously establishing this arc of units, this arc of elite heavy hitting, just nails OKW infantry, and CoH2 continues to have a really hard time here. I almost feel like a mortar would be a good idea here, because your opponent is relying like 3 squads of Obersoldat, and it's like any mortar that connects with these guys is generating way above average value. And you do kind of want to just punish your opponent for having so much expensive elite infantry. So, I mean, double Maxim is the heart of this composition. That's really nice. Okay, so he goes Tank of E Battalion, doesn't get the T-70, skips straight forward into Mechanized Armor Campanier. That one's now finished, but all the money's gone now. So it's going to be a while before he's able to take a choice out of that. I cannot... Animal Killer actually could have had their choice of, like, could have even have had a Panther by now. Is probably saving for Tiger Tank. But Animal Killer has had so much fuel this game. Look how much fuel he's floating. You could even probably buy a Panzer IV in the meantime and then still afford the Tiger on time, like right when you get to 12 CPs. To be honest, I probably love that. A Panzer IV looks quite good here. I mean, I know that there's a Zis gun, but the Panzer IV is mobile enough that one Zis gun probably isn't going to be enough to kill it. And right now, a mobile unit, which the Panzer IV is, that is good at controlling infantry, is exactly what would feed into Animal Killer's strategy of trying to contain this Soviet player so aggressively. So, possibly a window that he's missing where a Panzer IV here would be just a sweet choice. And you just have the spare fuel. Like, dear God, he's had such good fuel control. Finally, Soviet boots get onto Eastern fuel. Might even connect that in a second. And, like, let some desperate fuel flood into the Soviet resource bank. That is so needed. Obersoldaten just kicking ass out here. 3 LMG 34s on these units is just killing Soviets so quickly. Jeez. PPSHs. It's going to be the PPSH upgrade on the airborne guards as well. That's an interesting choice. He's going to go for a Panther. You know what? He can actually go for a Panther and still afford the Tiger on time. Jesus, that's going to be terrifying. That's going to be absolutely terrifying as conscripts here just getting hoovered up. Fuel is connected, but probably not for very long once this point gets taken by these Axis forces here. One of the Maxim guns. Oh no, he's going to salvage it. The arrogance. That Maxim would go into your composition really well. Jeez, the arrogance. Okay, that is some pretty confident plays. Like, I don't need your Maxim. I'll just take the resources. It's not like you need the fuel, buddy. I mean, that seems pretty out there. I would have grabbed that Maxim because, I mean, you're containing your opponent on the doorstep of their base, but the one thing you don't have is a machine gun. So I feel like grabbing that with the Panzer Fusiliers would have been pretty tight. But maybe he doesn't even want to give up that much tempo, because if you pick that up, you probably have to fall both of those squads back. So that does relieve the pressure in the immediate future on your opponent. And maybe Animal Killer is just sensing that there's enough blood in the water here that he just doesn't want to relent at all, just wants to keep the pressure on, destroy the Maxim, keep your Axis squads at full health, keep pressing the advantage. So, okay, the Panther is out. Where's the Zis gun right now? It's in a decent position where it should start being able to control this Panther momentarily. Panther's not quite as good as Panzer IVs, if I recall, at just sheer anti-infantry DPS. So this Panther has come out basically as kind of an early tank hunter unit that's going to be able to achieve some veterancy against these Soviet units until there's a proper target for it to take on in the Soviet roster. But I mean, fuel income has been so meager for Depopko, who finds himself trailing now by like 220 odd tickets, or 225 odd tickets. I mean, this is brutal. Fuel income has been so meager that Panther actually won't have a decent armored target for some time. And, you know, Tiger money is there. We're just waiting for 12 command points. God damn, this is such a horrendously brutal style. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Animal Killer here. This gun actually continues to find the Panther. That thing ought to back away here. Doesn't have the armored skirts, so that's this gun. Probably rolling above the odds there. That seems to have been a consecutive series of hits and penetrating hits there. But, oh wow, the mechanized reg is denied there. So that's nice. Another Schwervermacht Schlepper gets forced here, but I mean, it's not like Animal Killer doesn't have the money. This cutoff is going to be meaningful, though. This is definitely material damage. Finally, Depopco actually finding some resource damage on the other side of the map, but I mean, yeah, the trouble is that the Tiger Fuel is already here, so... Look at this composition. Christ. How much do Obersoldaten cost these days? Are they, oops, are they as expensive as I remember, or what? Oh, they've actually had their cost reduced a bit. I mean, they're still expensive, but that's cool. Alright. Alright, so Panther Tank just continuing to apply pressure here, as is most of the Axis infantry. This triple cap has been established, it's getting re-established. So the Soviet player kind of in real danger of being forced out of the game unless they can get some boots onto these victory points. Oh no, conscripts feeding into negative cover. That'll be a squad wipe. Oh no, we can't afford to be hemorrhaging squads. Is he actually going to get that conscript squad? That's very lucky for Popco. It's going to be a T-34. You know your opponent has Tiger money. You know what commander they're using. They already have a Panther. In what world is a T... You need an Su-85. It's literally the only way you're going to stabilize this game, I feel like. Somebody help me understand that... Ooh, Obersoldaten getting a bit low here. Somebody help me understand this T-34, because I just don't get it. I get that he needs battlefield presence sooner rather than later, because time is a real issue. I understand that. But this is just a waste of reason. This is just going to get eaten alive by a Panther and a Tiger. And a Kettenwerfer. No? This is like throwing an egg at a wall. An Su-85 at least gives you some ability to try and control the game, as well as preparing you to some extent for the big cat that you know is coming. I am super skeptical about this. Actually, he even completed the tech tree. He's so rich, his Animal Killer. So maybe he's actually just going to save for Katie instead of regular Tiger. I don't know. Either way, manpower's the limiting variable, so we're a couple of minutes away from the big cat there. And that, to be fair, is kind of lucky for Popco. I can't believe we went for a T-34. It just seems so bad on this battlefield. Alright though, well, we'll see how it plays out. I might be wrong. Oh no, the Zisgun's gonna die. Oh no, we can't be losing the Zisgun. Okay, he gets it back to a place where it's like reasonable to recrew it. He's going to get anti-vehicle rifle grenaded here though. That's okay, he's on full health. It won't break the engine. Obersoldaten getting roasted up though. The fallback comes down in time. Animal Killer paying attention. These Maxim guns have been just pivotal. I suppose there's only one now, but this Maxim gun... Oh no, these conscripts in a building. Ooh, sorry, Penal's in a building. Okay, they're going to get out of there. Both these players just dancing on the tightrope here. Many units and things needing their attention. And one slip up is going to be game breaking, because I mean, neither of them can really afford to give up any of their infantry squads right now. Zisgun has been recrewed, and that is going to be able to put some holes in this Panther. And the T-34 is like still alive, so that's cool. Until a big cat comes, I guess. But the real story, I suppose, of this last phase of play, and most importantly, is that Popco is off the clock. That is the most important thing in this game. So somehow we've managed to neutralize mid, and we've claimed Eastern VP. That's crucial. That is necessary for Popco's chances in this game. Okay, and there's actually, if we crack the tack, a lot of the Axis units were forced back, so there is a little window of time here where Popco can just pick himself up, dust off, get back on the map, reinforce the Zisgun, spread out, try and get some resources flowing, and prepare for the next Axis assault, which is about to begin. Okay, so this feels like it's going to be quite difficult. Where's the Maxim gun? It's covering the middle bridge right now. So the T-34 is going to respond to these units here in east. Panther tank comes across to check that. And that it will do. conscripts just getting obliterated by Obersoldaten, like, squads, plural. Jesus. I think we need to see some 7-man squad upgrades coming down, to be honest. Oh, they can't do it if they have SVDs. Huh. Is that right? Am I right about that? Oh, it might be that they're not in friendly territory, actually. It's probably that. Okay, so I'm liking these guards infantry with DP LMGs. I think putting the PPSHs onto them was a bit like out there in terms of what in terms of how this game has been flowing. Alright, so now these guards infantry kind of just need to give way. Oof. And I feel like he just needs to save up for a Tiger. I feel like we just need to close the door. And I prefer Tiger over King Tiger here because the Tiger's just a little bit faster. And I feel like that's going to be valuable. Oh no, what did he just lose? Wasn't paying attention. Okay, he managed to get a ram on a Panther, but the Zis gun is gone, so this is just a dead tank now. Okay, so I think we all agree, right, that the T-34 was the wrong choice? Because even though it survived somehow for like 5 minutes, which I didn't even think it would do, it was still kind of worthless. Like, didn't really kill much of anything or put any damage significantly on pretty much anything, right? Am I wrong here? Okay, that's nice. He gets an Obersoldaten squad at last with the PPSHs that I was doubting, so forcing me to eat my words a bit. And now that the Soviet player is stabilized, I was hoping that this would happen, because this has been a cool game, but it has been quite a one-sided game so far. One of the cooler one-sided games. But now the Soviet player is actually stabilized and seems to be able to control, at least for now, an amount of the mid-line. So if we can make some preparations for if he builds another T-34, I'm just done with Soviet players at this point. If he builds another T-34, I'm just so over Soviet players. He's nearly got Su-85 money, and if we can add an Su-85 to this roster, we actually have a shot in this game. If you babysit that unit, and this is a great map for an Su-85 as well, because the middle line of the map is so open. So the lines of sight that Su-85 can command are huge. And like, the problem is a Panther. And it's about to be a Panther and a Tiger. And let me tell you, the answer to that problem is not a T-30. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, so he loses like another squad. I think he lost some engineers out on the field just now. But that's okay. Those are cheap and ablative. He loses the Maxim gun there. That's also okay, because he can replenish that. Going to spend some munitions. That is quite the cost there. 100 munitions for a rocket run just to drive the Panther back. Okay. That's okay. It's probably just about acceptable. Oof, good stun grenade. Oh my god, 5-star Storm Pioneers. Holy. What do they even do? Alright, here comes the King Tiger. Alright, they fall back. Is he going to lose them? Come on, focus fire. Oh, he gets them! He gets the kill on the 5-star. Okay, I mean, you know, in the later stages of the game, wiping out your opponent's core infantry is a real way of getting back in the game, and Popco is doing that. You know, I know he's losing some infantry squads of his own, but they're definitely winning the infantry war here. Su-85 is out, so is the KT. Oh, yikes. Come on, guards. Let's get the hell out of here. But the Su-85 is here, so, I mean, it all comes down to the micro and the engagements on this Su-85. If the Su-85 goes down, this game is basically over. So we've got to babysit this unit. It must be looked after. We know that the KT has been committed into East, and it's quite slow, so this is kind of a commitment here. Focus sight node is active on the Su-85, so it should get a shot here. That's an unlucky miss. Okay, now we have to micro it. There we go, nicely done. We don't want it to get... This is it. There we go. Now look at the veterancy. You know, we don't need many hits for this thing to start paying for itself and vetting up. And, you know, once we get to Vet 2, it's already much more deadly. And if it gets to Vet 3, well, then it's a real problem. And it really, you know, you can get there in like 2 minutes or less. You know, Su-85s vet up very quickly because Their preferred targets are just very valuable, so that's how the game works. Alright, so Animal Killer doesn't have the biggest infantry base to be working with here, just 5 squads if you include the Kettenwerfer. So has definitely been punished over these last phases of play, losing some Obersoldaten, losing the Storm Pioneers, losing some Panzer Fusiliers. You know, these have all been eradicated from the OKW roster. So whilst the OKW armor is very potent, he needs to rebuild his infantry, and that's quite tough to do in these stages of the game because your manpower income is low and you're spending that manpower reinforcing squads and things. Oh my god, actually, we could realistically have KT Tiger in this game. Oh yikes, is this a squad wipe? Cannot afford to be hemorrhaging squads here as Pokeco. To be honest, we probably want a second SU-85, like, no kidding. Panther takes a dive here, SU-85 flustered. Oh no, well that's game, that's it. We had to have perfect micro on the SU-85 and we didn't. It gets spit roasted badly here. Gotta move out. We know the KT's here, gotta run. No. That's probably game then. A valiant attempt here from Pokeco, but with the demise of the SU-85, there's just no answer for this Axis armor. Sturmovik rocket run will come down here. I believe that was. No? What was the smoke? Oh, was that a tank commander artillery barrage? Yes. I mean, this game's basically over now, right? Well, I don't know, actually, because, alright, yeah. Okay, Pokeco stays in this game, and probably for good reason, because his opponent's infantry is so depleted. It is actually quite hard and quite slow for Animal Killer to take ground. And, you know, Pokeco is not on the clock right now, and even with this horribly low fuel income, we're going to be able to afford another SU-85 in, like, 4 or 5 more minutes, so I don't know. It's pretty bad, but it might not be a 0%er. What is that? Oh, it's a Zisgun. Actually finds the rear armor on a KT. Nice. Nice, actually, yeah, putting some damage on the big cat. Fair enough. That is a lot of Soviets. These Obersoldaten will not be able to hold off that many Soviets. And every squad that Pokeco can force back is super relevant because his opponent actually doesn't have that many squads. Animal Killer should probably grab another squad of Panzer Fusiliers. I would love to see that. Even just Volksgrenadiers. Like, what we want here are durable core infantry. So Volksgrenadiers would fit that bill. But these fights obviously are going to be very different, very difficult, sorry, for the Pokeco, because your opponent just has kind of two units that you're not going to be able to kill in a hurry. And this KT is going to start vetting up. I mean, having said that, it's just killing Soviet infantry, which is not worth a lot of veterancy on a King Tiger. Okay, so Pokeco momentarily on the clock there, manages to neutralize mid. Replacing them with Obersoldaten. Wow, Animal Killer just has a really out there idea about how OKW should be played, and who am I to argue? Putting together quite an intriguing showcase here. Breaks the engine on the KT, that's interesting. Are we going to stalk it with the Zisgun, or are we going to play this conservatively? We need to play this conservatively. So, okay, he is going to stalk it a bit with the Zisgun. That seems ambitious. Saving fuel now. Another minute or two, and we should be able to have another SU-85, and you know, you just need to make sure that, I know I keep repeating myself, but you just need to make sure the SU-85 doesn't die. If you can do that, you'll be okay. So, you know, previously the Panther just kind of rolled across mid and managed to get around the side of the turret, and as soon as that happens, it's like, yeah, you lose the SU-85, for sure. You need to be reversing it away, like, well before there's any sort of danger like that. Going for a second Zisgun here is obviously nice, you know. If we can get up to 3 Zisguns, that is another way of trying to sort of mitigate the effectiveness of all this Axis armor. And of course the Zisguns do protect the SU-85 really nicely, because, you know, if the Panther or the KT comes in for a flank, then the Zisguns will be hurling shells at those units and punishing them for attempting to do that. So I like the choice of another Zisgun. I think that is important for Pokeco. Ugh, 4-star Obersoldaten. Getting caught under the arc of a Maxim gun though, thank goodness. Guard's power is in a building that is so low. This building's a bit of a death trap here. Grenade comes down onto the building, and that will crumple it down. So, luckily he got the guards airborne out of there. Well, I say luckily, like, you know, skillfully, nicely, on purpose. He got them out of there. That's great. King Tiger going to come in here. Panther likewise, slicing in from the flanks. There is a Zisk gun here, but it won't be enough. Oh no, one of the Zisk guns gets caught out here. Now the triple cap is going to be re-established here. That's the real danger. That's the real problem for PokeCo. Okay, so he forces a blitz. I mean, there's actually no munitions for... Oh! He gets an anti... Okay, he just spent the last of his munitions on that anti-vehicle grenade. Okay, so breaks the engine on the Panther. That's nice. That's going to force it to be, you know, away for a moment to repair. But 93 tickets and hemorrhaging, I'm just not sure that PokeCo actually has enough time here. We have SU-85 money in just a moment, so hopefully he's going to click on that as soon as possible, because we need that unit rapidly here. Oh no, what did he spend his manpower on? Is that just reinforcing units? I think that was a game-ending decision then. Because if you don't buy the SU-85 there, I mean, how can you ever come back in this game? I don't know, although, I mean, the other side of that argument is if you don't reinforce your infantry here, even if you buy the SU-85, how are you ever going to take the midline of the map in any real way? But I still feel like you need to go for the SU-85 and just try and get something done. I mean, I don't know. It's a bleak situation here for PokeCo. This has been a bleak game for PokeCo. But a fantastic showcase of patties. Might pick off an Oversoldat squad here as well. Can we get the focus bar on these conscripts? I think that they're actually shooting into these Oversoldat. Yeah, they are. Yeah, a mere 50 points remain, but I mean, if we can get off the top of this VP, we've neutralized mid, we've neutralized east. You know, PokeCo is going down fighting here. A fourth squad of Oversoldat. That's just Animal Killer's style, isn't it? This is a player who really likes Oversoldat. Okay, so the KT actually is going to be forced away for a moment here. Tank Commander Artillery Barrage comes down in a reasonable position, finds some good hits, that's nice. 2 stars is now here on the Panther, which means those armoured skirts are present. Makes it considerably more difficult to take out. Okay, so he needs to pull back these Soviet guards before they, sorry, these guards airborne before they have a calamity at the hands of this Tiger. God damn, he's so brave. Almost gets the decap. And now he's going to have to reinforce all these infantry squads, so I feel like we're never going to see an SU-85. And somehow PokeCo is contesting the midline of the map. I mean, fair play to you, sir. I think it's pretty much only because Animal Killer has this really small infantry roster, because we're relying on such expensive infantry units as the OKW player here, and our manpower income is not high. So it is very difficult to sustain a high number of infantry squads. And perhaps that is why this game's going on so long. I mean, if instead of these 2 squads of Oversoldat we had like 3 squads of Volksgrenadiers, I feel like perhaps Animal Killer would be much more in charge of the victory points. But I mean, I'm not knocking him. This is still a cool composition to watch, and it feels very powerful, and that is fun by itself. So yeah, you know, that's fair enough.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
And whilst we're sort of definitely in the closing stages of this game, let's just think about this for a second. So this pick of Airborne Command, you know, let's have a think. Has this been good? What's your opinions on this, everyone? Oh no, he's going to lose the Zisk gun.
The enemy has silenced one of our anti-tank guns.
Yeah, KTs are quite good, aren't they?
Enemy forces capturing supplies.
And he's actually going to stick around to destroy the hardware, which is pretty annoying. Panther rolls across mid. If he loses both Zisk guns, this might also be another route to victory for Animal Killer, actually. Oversoldat here, so that Zisk gun will definitely be dead.
One of our AT guns has been neutralized.
Is this the crushing blow? Is this the killing moment? Animal Killer looking pretty good right now. He's going to re-establish the clock. Oh no, these guys get pinned. So actually no, Maxim gun for the win. Saving the day here. But now the KT rolls in and there's just no answer. No answer. Where these Axis tanks go is where they go. Like, the Soviet player has no say in these Axis tanks' movement anymore. No Zisk guns. So we've got SU-85 money. I mean, that has to be the pick. Yeah, here it comes.
We have lost a machine gun crew.
The Maxim gets taken out, but that's actually the KT can actually destroy the hardware here, and the Panther can as well. So that is a really, really telling loss there. Somehow Soviet forces with an LMG-34 Able to decap this point though, so oi oi, Pope Co. I mean, all Pope Co needs to do is keep playing for time. That is, as long as he can stay out from under the clock, he's kind of okay. Which is insane to say when you look at the amount of cats that are like mauling him right now. But you know, so okay, so we get the Su-85 out. Okay. It is insane to me that Pope Co has been able to like sustain this long in this game. It's just crazy. And like 3-star guards with an LMG, like they're beating Obersoldat out here. That's cool. All right, here comes the Su-85. Okay, so we need better micro this time. We need better awareness. I know it's easy for me to say, but the thing is, if you this is such a weird thing to say, but as long as you just have perfect micro with an Su-85, you basically don't die to Axis armor. And I know, perfect micro, it's very difficult, and these players are dealing with fog of war, and lots of things can go wrong. And Panther tanks are fast, and if they get around to the side of your Su-85, it's definitely dead. So you need to have a supporting web of infantry that lets you know exactly where the Axis Panzers are. Oh no, he's probably going to lose this squad. Oh, that's a nasty squad to lose. Bong. Oh my god, he sneaks away with them, getting a bit lucky there as Pope Co. Somehow claiming West VP to just stay in the game. Somehow these legends are going to decap mid, maybe. No, too many Obersoldaten in the hood. And that'll be a fallback, so the rocket strafe comes down. That's a really damaged Panther now. Where's the Su-85? Creeping forward, stalking forwards, wants to look for this, needs to have focus sight on, but also needs to be, yeah, he's not going to get it. It's just too risky. But that puts the Panther out of the fight for a while, and that's nice. KT policing the flanks right now. Kind of a weird thing to say, but that is what it's doing. Alright. So surely you lose now. Whoa. Are we really grabbing this point? Bro, the VP. Remember to win the game. If you take this VP, you just kind of win on the spot. Like, there's no way Soviet player can react to this middle of the map. Okay, this is kind of a mistake from Animal Killer. Definitely we should prioritize the VP over, like, these random things. Su-85 and the KT having a little bit of a showdown here. Su-85 frantically scurrying away here. Going to take what shots and damage it can into the front of this, this KT. To be honest, the KT could almost just come in for a base dive. He's got enough money for another one, really. Massive ball of Soviet infantry. Is this wise? He's going to ball up and come out on one side of his base. Just looking for squad wipes, I guess? Frangie Smoke? Oh, brutal! Oh my god, Frangie Smoke just countering so much Soviet value here. And these are 5-star Obersoldaten, so, you know, they can just deal with these guys. Satchel Charge comes down. Animal Killer? Okay, he's paying attention. Need to repair the Su-85. Do we even have engineers? We do, but they're on the map. 25 tickets and counting. I feel like these players are coming undone a bit. Yeah, the engineers fall back. There we go, because he realizes he needs to repair the Su-85. Okay. OKW Force is going to establish this triple cap, and that will be game. Right? There's no way. $17 tickets and counting. Pope Co is giving such a great account of himself on the way out the door, but I mean, it's just too little too late, isn't it? And you've got to feel for him. This has been such a devastating game. He really has fought a heroic underdog game the whole way through here. Great game. I've enjoyed this one intensely. Su-85 taking some shots from the flank here. But yeah, it's over now, because Soviet forces need to capture one of these side points, and there's just not enough time. So, what a game here from both players. Really liking what I'm seeing. Absolutely not a perfect game, but not far off either. I mean, these two players definitely on point. And what a pleasure to have cast this one. That's a fantastic game. And yeah, Animal Killer on top throughout the entire game, but Pope Co, just like I say, playing the underdog game masterfully. And there's definitely a timeline where he doesn't lose that first Su-85 and things kind of look great. And he's able to come back. Like, I feel like Animal Killer's dominance in that game was seriously threatened at points. And given how that game looked, with like absurdly one-sided resource differential for the first 25 minutes of the game and ridiculously fast Panther into KT, I think a lot of players would have left the game and just not made it look that close. But Pope Co fighting tooth and nail. Just a brilliant game from both players. What a pleasure to have cast. That's fantastic. Really enjoyed that one. So we've got Iroha and Korean on Feynmanville. We've got Inkaruna and Koritz on Crossroads Winter. Yeah, I'm inclined to give that one a go. Inkaruna is just a fantastically good player. Koritz, not cast before, but we'll give it a look. So whilst this game loads up, I'm just going to go and grab myself a drink. Please do bear with me, I won't be long, and we'll get straight into this next game. Okay, hey guys, I'm back, ready to rock and roll. Okay, so let's see, let's get this HUD in order, fog of war, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so, spawning in the north, playing as the Vermac pieces. Here on Crossroads Winter, it's going to be Lux Inca Una, who goes straight ahead here and picks the German infantry doctrine. And spawning in the south, playing as the United Kingdom forces. For Her Majesty, it's going to be Quiritza, who's running with Commando Regiment. Oh my god. I just thought because he was wearing a greenish beret that I'd have that one right. No, it's Mobile Assault Regiment, so land mattress guy here. Special weapons guy? Yep, okay, we got that one. And then guy in special operations. Nope, tactical support. Whatever, that was a total guess. Don't recognise him very well. So yep, those are the 3 UKF commanders that are going to be at Quiritza's disposal here. I'm just familiarising myself with it. Yes, I quite like Special Weapons Regiment. I mean, back in the day, I used to play quite a lot of 2v2, and the Special Weapons Regiment, that resupply half-track, you can actually give Vickers guns to your allied forces, whoever your ally is. So, you know, you can give conscript squads the Vickers guns and so forth, and that's quite cool. And the rest of the stuff he does is also just fun. I mean, he's a good commander, so... Yeah, I've had some good memories with this commander for sure. But I'm kind of hoping that we're going to get to see the land mattress in this game because it's spicy AF and I really like it. We've got a marksman build. It's going to be a German marksman out here. That's cool. So this is really good against UKF because they've got quite small squads in the early stages of the game at least who are quite valuable on a per model basis. So yep, the German marksman definitely feeds into this matchup quite nicely. We'll see if there's going to be a response. Oftentimes or sometimes you'll see UKF players go for a British sniper and then go on hold fire and try and get the counter snipe on the German marksman. I mean, that's a classic. That strategy is as old as time, though. Your Vermac player will be expecting that. So, yeah, we'll see what the adaptation is going to be, if any, for Quiritz here. I mean, another way of dealing with him is a Bren carrier, because it's a mobile scout car type unit that can pursue and punish the high-value sniper in pretty easily. You'll have to forgive me, I'm sort of experimenting with the audio settings, like, on the fly, so... Because I just noticed the game audio was actually, like, catching on my mic, which is a problem with the way I've connected things up here, so, I mean, I hope that last game it wasn't too much of an issue. It may be that because the game audio was coming in twice, it will have been super loud. I really hope that's not the case, because that last game was a good one. Oh well. We'll watch back the replay and we'll see.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Okay, so I like the way that Inkaruna has taken this composition. Yeah, I appreciate the direction that he's going in here. Marksman with MG plus 2 squads of grenadiers. That's quite a nice core. It makes this marksman relatively easy to protect. And only 2 headshots on this guy so far, actually. Wow, fair enough. So it's going to be a 250 half track here from Inkaruna. And that should be quite nice. I mean, there's not really anything that can threaten this unit, especially if it goes into hull down mode. Let's just quickly see. So yeah, platoon command post is done. So and AEC is also done. So there we go. That announces some intention there to go for the AEC, which we do now have the money for. So the AEC is actually obviously going to be quite a nice choice here. It deals with the 250 half track very neatly, and it also threatens that sniper pretty hard because it's mobile and it does have a machine gun. So yeah, you can definitely get through to the Wehrmacht sniper. As I have a stretch here.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Oh, dude, yeah. Ooh. So I tried the new Call of Duty Battle Royale mode, and I was very impressed. Definitely the best Battle Royale experience I've had so far. I've played a bit of Fortnite here and there. Yes, I'm not above playing Fortnite. For whatever people, however people may judge it for being absurdly popular in its particular cartoony style and all this, at its core, there's a satisfying game experience there. The game engine's actually quite fun. The bullet physics and the strategies and tactics are all quite fun. But I will say this: I'm not a fan of the sort of. Okay, hang on a second. AEC comes in here. 250 half track is just caught out, and there's just. I mean, there's not really any recourse here for the 250 to sort of do anything. Getting a bit lucky there as the Axis player that the AEC rolled a couple of misses there. So the 250 will sneak away for now, but you have to feel like the 250's lifetime on this battlefield is going to be short with an AEC on the field. But yeah, as I was just saying about Fortnite, for me, I didn't actually really enjoy the building mechanic of the game. Now, I know that that's like integral to the way that Fortnite works and is one of its key selling points and makes the gunfights and makes the battles play out in a certain way. But I found that it felt really awkward. So, okay, so we've got a tactical support regiment pick here. I found it really awkward, and I just found that like every time I was having an enjoyable gunfight, it just gets kind of ruined by one or other player just like building a castle all of a sudden, and then it's just like great. I just don't always want to be fighting a load of terrain. And like, yeah, I can do it myself. It's fun. You can like flank through the air to get above and behind people and stuff. Like, yeah, I get it. There's stuff going on there. But for me, it's not a gameplay mechanic that I really liked. So what I discovered was if you play Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch, which is what I did, obviously people playing with a controller, it's much more difficult to build as fluently and as quickly as PC players can. Like way more difficult. It's very different to do. So the building was much more sort of balanced in a way because you had to devote all of your APM and attention towards constructing if you wanted to do it in a sort of in the most efficient or best way. So on PC, it's like it's trivial to be building and fighting at the same time and like killing everyone. On Switch, not so much. You have to decide: am I going to be shooting that guy or am I going to be building? Like it's one or the other, buddy. And that actually, for me, made the game way more enjoyable. So I actually enjoyed Fortnite quite a lot. This was you know, some time ago now when I was playing Fortnite, like quite a long time ago. I just played it for like a month or two because it was just a thing. What happened was actually I had a really severe viral infection. I had Epstein-Barr. Is it Epstein-Barr virus? I think so. It's like it's one of those ones. It's like glandular fever that everyone gets like once in their lifetime, and it was just my time to get it. And I had some like horrendously bad symptoms. That is some of the worst pain I've ever experienced. But anyway, the upshot was I was at home for like a month and a half, unable to move very much or speak, and so I was just like, you know what, Fortnite's free, I have a Nintendo Switch, let's just play Fortnite, because it's like defining the gaming genre at the moment, and as an interested gamer, I owe it to myself to experience the game properly. So although I hated the game for a good little while, within, I don't know, a few days, I was taking victories in Battle Royale, and you know, I would say within 2 weeks I was winning like 2/3 of my games, which like I know I'm playing on Nintendo Switch. I know it's not the same as winning on PC, but still, you know, I was winning those battle royales. So I think it's fair to say that I came to understand the game and get reasonably good at it. And yeah, like there's a satisfying gameplay experience there in Fortnite. The bullet physics and the guns and you know the strategies and the way it makes you think and stuff, all very enjoyable. But safe to say, battle royale definitely in vogue for gaming right now. I don't know what it is about gaming at the moment. Everyone sees somebody else making money in gaming and goes, shit, we have to rip off that idea. Let's all do that for a while. So everybody's just making battle royale games, and it's getting a bit bland, a bit annoying. But I will say, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, their take on the battle royale experience is great because they've added in some extra spice, which really varies it up and makes it much more interesting. So, for example, you can be out there in your battle royale, doing battle royale stuff, and then you can pick up an assignment, which finally varies the gameplay because it says, hey, if you do these things, you'll get a sick reward. For example, if you pick up these 3 supply drops that are coming down for you now, or or it'll mark an enemy player or an enemy team and say, they're your target. If you kill them within this time limit, you'll get some sick rewards that will really help you win this battle royale. And, from the other side of that coin, we were playing a game last night where all of a sudden I became a VIP marked player for another team who'd picked up an assignment, and I was their assignment to kill me. So my position was marked to them the whole time. So we're playing this battle royale, we're scavenging for resources, we're playing for position, we're fending off other teams and players, we're moving to where the zone is closing into. But also, we were like, holy spoons, this other team is going to be coming for us because they know my position at all times. It's being relayed to them. So we prepared a defense. We had like machine guns and overlapping fields of fire, and my teammates were able to help defend me, and we succeeded to defend me and then got a bonus off of that. So basically what I'm saying is they've included sort of divergent gameplay assignments and like cool things that can happen to vary it. So every time you play this battle royale mode, you get a different gameplay experience. It's not just survive, kill other players, respond to where the zone is closing down to. There's other stuff going on. And because Call of Duty is quite fast, and because there's like a billion different guns in the game, there's a lot of variation, and it's a very satisfying experience. So I was very impressed with the Call of Duty's Warzone experience when I gave it a try for the first time yesterday. We'll be doing that some more because it's great. I know this is all a bit of a tangent, but this game has just been a story of Vermac kind of getting stomped on a little bit over this last phase of play. So is that a mortar pit? It's a mortar squad.
Command post is ready.
Is this something that you get from the air resupply operation that I wasn't paying attention to? Because Brits appear to have a mortar squad. Let me just make sure that they haven't been given a mortar squad. Okay, yeah, so this is part of the air resupply operation. Okay, wow, there is a way for Brits to get a mortar squad. I just, forgot about this, or didn't know about it, or something. Cool. Look at UKF with their awesome regular mortar unit that's way better than a mortar pit. Amazing. I'm excited. That's cool.
Damned enemies trying to take a
that is
point
spice.
from us.
This marksman is actually still alive. Only 9 kills, but does have his first star of veterancy. That gives him the incendiary round, which is quite good at getting squad wipes, unless the community balance team have changed the way that works. Weapon racks, of course, have finished for the UKF player here. So we got Bren guns on a lot of these Tommy squads. That's going to be meaning they can basically bully these Axis squads around. I mean, Tommies with 5-man and Bren guns are quite intimidating for 4-man Vermac squads without many or any upgrades. So maybe some 5-man squad up, the veteran squad leaders or something like that. But I mean, Inkaruna has not had the best resource income this last phase of play. If I crack the tack, we can still sort of see UKF forces are dominating the map, and therefore the resource income has been pretty poor here for Inkaruna. Yeah, so that's making it quite difficult to be going for the squad upgrades, the veteran squad leaders. They are 60 munitions a pop, of course. Stormtroopers now starting to pop up into the roster. We're up to 2 squads now for Inkaruna, so getting some leverage out of this this commander. And there we go, some veteran squad leaders are now starting to finish on units. So that is where the munition spending is being diverted. And, hopefully that's going to enable these grenadiers to try and keep pace for a little bit longer with these Tommies in fights. But, I mean, it's rough out here for a German. It is rough out here. We've got the Royal Engineer Recovery Squad as well. That's a special squad afforded by the support... What is this guy called again? Tactical Support Regiment guy. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. Just having access to a regular mortar squad. I mean, look at this. It's already nearly got a star of veterancy. It's just been consecutively scoring hits. Can we just please give UKF a mortar squad that has smoke? Just like all the other factions need access to from the early game. Can we all just agree all factions need access to a mortar squad with smoke in all stages of the game? Please, can we just do that? It would make me so happy. Just get rid of the mortar pit. Take it out of the game. It's awful. Just give Brits a mortar squad. Rebalance this commander with like one other thing. I don't care. Or just take the mortar squad off it. I don't care. Just Please give Brits a mortar squad, because then I feel like they're a totally usable faction. Then I feel like they are in the right place in the game.
Enemy causing trouble.
This is their one issue, as far as I'm concerned, that is still outstanding. Whoa, Sniper getting caught out a little bit here. Boys from Wales with Sten guns. Okay, he falls back in the nick of time, taking some shots into the mortar squad. That is nice. But yeah, you got to look out for these boys from Wales. Them Sten guns will kill you quickly at close range if you are a one-man sniper unit. Cromwell tank here, so of course Company Command Post has finished. Company, a rather splendid Cromwell, will be arriving shortly. And that's going to be problems, to be honest, for the Axis player, who is just now getting Battle Phase 2. We have one pack gun, and that is the extent of the hard AT resources here for Ingaruna. Of course, we do have, what, 2 units that can Faust here? Yeah, Stormtroopers don't Faust. Okay, cool. Yeah, so two units that can Faust. Okay, he's going to go for that second pack gun, and that is essential. Coming out here pretty much in the nick of time. I mean, it's a little late. This Cromwell's going to be able to rampage around the place against just one pack gun for a while. And to be honest, if this pack gun manages to somehow die before the second pack gun arrives, then that is problems for the Vermac player there. But it's in a nice defensive position. It shouldn't be dying anytime too soon. Going to be taking some shots through the terrain here. What is this Cromwell doing? Just like exposing its ass here to the pack gun. That's a little awkward. We don't want to be doing that really. Okay, so, alright, yeah, wow, I forgot about this ability. It's been a long time since I've seen Designate Command Vehicle be used, but the AEC has been designated as a command vehicle, so this costs 75... Hang on a second, we've got a bit of a fight here. Oh, the squad leader upgraded Grenadier is going to go down. Bren Gun Tommy's just too much DPS. Inkaruna seemingly occupied elsewhere. No fallback coming down for those guys, so they will get squad weaponed. Squad whooped? Squad wiped, that's the one. And, okay, wow, fast support operation going to come down on the doorstep of the Axis base here. Might as well. I mean, that's quite nice. These Tommies staying a little too long, but they should be able to fall back okay. There is fighting going on elsewhere. Looks like the Cromwell is going to try and find some value against Axis units here, but it's the Pack Gun who's really going to be finding value, going up to 2 stars of veterancy. The sister Pack Gun is also now out. Looks like Ingaruna going to go for a one on each flank split on the Pack Guns, rather than concentrating them both in mid, and that's probably fine. So let's see. So designate command vehicle. The command vehicle improves nearby units and increases the recharge rate of commander abilities. Huh. Command vehicles have access to air support, so that's the recon plane that we saw, I believe. Cool. All right. So okay, we've got a command vehicle. Oh yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've seen that. Just keeping tabs on the veterancy on this mortar tube. Nearly so it's up to 1.5 stars of veterancy. Definitely just doing well. Nice to see UKF have a mortar squad. Oi, that's awesome. So where is the command AEC right now?
What's next then?
Okay, here it is. So it appears to defensively buff nearby allied units, if I'm reading this correctly. Hey, I just made use of my cough button. Sweet. So yeah, yeah, it appears to give a durability buff to nearby infantry, or just nearby units, in fact, even affecting this Cromwell. So that's pretty cool. I'm liking the strat here from Queritz. We've seen 2 games here where we've got some really sick builds coming out from one or both players. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, command vehicle gets a bit flustered here. Pack gun does acquire. Faust is going to come down off of no Faust off of the Grenadiers. And one thing okay, no, that's about right. So yeah, Inkaruna with a considerable scoreline deficit, which I've not commented on yet, but you know, based on how this game has looked so far, I'm sure no one is surprised to hear that. Sniper sneaks away on a pixel here, so a close encounter, but he's going to be okay. Pack gun next on the chopping block as these Tommies with Bren guns relentlessly advance, laying down fire. Remember, of course, the Bren guns were buffed a couple of weeks ago in the most recent patch. They're a little bit better on the move now, so just adding more DPS. Oh wow, these Grenadiers just going to kind of feed on in and attempt to use their G43s to punish the Tommies at close range. Do secure the fallback on that squad. Oh no, but more Tommies taking up position in their hind quarter. This is on for a squad wipe now. If these Tommies focus fire, he's going to have to go across the negative cover on a pixel. He's going to get out. That's very lucky for that Grenadier. Nicely done there for Inkaruna. We don't really want to see him lose any more squads, if I'm honest, because he's getting punished quite hard. This has been a very difficult game for him so far, and losing a squad at this time would just be more damage that he doesn't want to have to deal with. So I believe, yep, support armor core is finished, and it's going to be a Panzer IV on the queue there for Inkaruna. This Panzer IV is going to be in for a rough life. Let's be honest. Because this is a Panzer IV that's going to be born into a world which already has existing in it a Hex Pounder AT gun, a Cromwell, and an AEC. So that is quite a lot of AT resources for the British player here. Doesn't take much to go wrong there for that Panzer IV to be taken out quite quickly. But, I mean, with careful micro, Inkaruna may well be able to find value with that unit. Christ, these mortars just giving this sniper a little bit of pause for concern here. Look at this. Look at UKF with their regular mortar squad just being good and providing support and, like, you know...
Battle drills for hammer attacks.
Please make this a default unit that the UKF can build, please. The mortar pit is not cool. It's not fun to play with. It's not good for balance. End of rant, I promise for now. So how many headshots have we got on this sniper now? 17! Cool. This has been a good sniper then. It's probably just about paid for himself. I feel like Quiritz is being a bit passive. Letting Inkaruna get out, get a fuel point, get 2 of the VPs. Okay, finally some Tommies are going to sneak onto the Western VP here. But being a bit passive here. So here comes the Panzer IV, coming in hard. This is a big dive. Cromwell thinks about coming into police. Has to be a bit careful here. This is fog of war now, so there could be mines or supporting units. Oh no. There we go, and the Panzer IV gets the opening shot. That's nice. There's not really any support for the Cromwell here. Actually, no, I take it back. The Hex Pounder is here, and that'll do fine.
Set up a new forward base.
Infantry units move and reinforce faster in friendly territory. Wow. This is just not a commander that I'm very familiar with, to be honest. Forward observation post. Dancing gate. Occupied hand building.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Oh, that's. I've never heard of this ability really being used either. I think this is probably one of the UKF commanders that I'm like have almost no familiarity with. So. Up to 3 stars now, this mortar team. Let's see what we get. So we get reduced cooldown on smoke, we get increased rate of fire at 2 star, and we get improved accuracy at 3 stars. So some really good and relevant veterancy upgrades there. The sniper has gone down somewhere. I missed that. I mean, obviously that's the kind of thing that can happen in a heartbeat. Perhaps an unlucky mortar shell fell upon him, or I'm just seeing if I can locate him for some forensic analysis. Oh god, these Bren gun Tommies are just horrifying here. And, you know, Inkaruna is basically constrained to the doorstep of the base. The Panzer IV, though, with some support, going to come out for a lunge down the eastern flank. And Royal Engineers will not be stiff enough resistance for that one. So Inkaruna making something happen. The AEC and the Cromwell and the Hex Pounder are all going to direct themselves towards that Axis armor, though. And, ooh, he could actually get round behind the Panzer IV here. That would be so nice. Go for it. Go for it, man. Go for it. There we go. Alright, so yeah, the Hex Pounder's chipping in for a lot of damage. The AEC gets the wounding shot in there. That's going to stun the engine. And why is the Cromwell not firing at the Panzer IV? Wow. There was a shot there that could have killed the Panzer IV, and the Cromwell shot it into the pack gun. So a little bit of miss micro there for Quiritz. That's a bit unlucky, but there we go. That's the world we're living in. So the Panzer IV is actually going to sneak away to repair here. That's massive. That is definitely game-changing. As Axis units just trying to get stuff done on the field here, I mean, but they are outnumbered and heavily outgunned. Once UKF infantry gets to this stage in the game where you have... Oh no, he's going to lose these stormtroopers. Oh no, we can't afford to be hemorrhaging squads here, Inkaruna. Although having said that, he's stacking a lot of manpower for some reason, so sort of can afford to lose one squad in a way. But you don't want to. Going to replace them with some Grenadiers. I don't know, I feel like maybe some Panzergrens would have been advisable here. I'd also love to see an MG42 in the roster, because these Tommies with Bren guns and 3 stars of veterancy and whatnot are a handful, to say the least. And an MG42 might help curtail the value which the British player is reaping from those units. It's going to be a crocodile here. So the heavy British tank lumbering forth.
Wireless intercepts put Harry Hun on 200 points.
Harry Hun?
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Okay, so the Cromwell here, sorry, the Churchill... Crocodile, that's the one, I get it. So the Crocodile here is going to find the Panzer IV. Anti-vehicle grenade comes down from the Royal Engineers there, and that will break the engine on this Panzer IV. So if the Cromwell can come across, or the AEC to assist, that would be really nice. But it looks like they're actually not going to. The Crocodile doing what it does best, burninating infantry and keeping up pressure on this Panzer IV. The Crocodile as well has a pretty decent health pool, so it can afford to trade with this Panzer IV for a while, even though the main gun on that Panzer IV is better, but the armour and the health pool on the Crocodile mean that it should be able to bully this Panzer IV to death here. We'll see if it's able to pierce the front armour. Yeah, not the best main gun at all on this combat. Now there's a pack gun in the scenario. Okay, Crocodile. Are we overextending? Oh god, he's overextending. Oh god. Well, he loses the Crocodile for it. That's the second time that this Panzer IV has sneaked away in circumstances where it really shouldn't have. So are we going to task something else with coming over here to get the kill? Where's the Hex Pounder? Not quite in range. Alright, this Panzer IV has been very lucky, and it's coming up for 2 stars of veterancy. It now has a sister Panzer IV as well, actually. So, I mean, Inkaruna has lost vast swathes of their core infantry. This will be a very tough game to pull back, but I mean, gets a Hex Pounder here. Oh, sorry, that's a pack gun. So, by taking out that pack gun, is that a squad wipe on these Tommies?
Enemy got one of our squads.
It is, right? Yeah. Okay, so he kind of kills one of the Tommy squads because Quirit's got a bit greedy and tried to grab a pack gun and loses a Tommy squad for that. So that sucks. I mean, no two ways of saying that. That really sucks for the UKF player. And we lose the Crocodile, and now the Axis player is up onto 2 Panzers. Inkaruna has lost a lot of infantry, so this game's definitely still in the balance, but it looks a bit better for Inkaruna now than it did before, I think. So yeah, Panzer IV here going to push perhaps too far into a Hex Pounder. AEC is here as well. The Cromwell is in desperate need of repairs, and it hasn't been repaired for like ages. It's been on this... It just hasn't been repaired for way too long, to be honest. So yeah, that would be quite nice. Looks like, I think that's the command vehicle Recon that's flying around right now. But I suppose the real story of this game, you know, unless Inkaruna can actually break midline of the map for control, they, you know, 86 tickets under 408, obviously that's quite bad. And that is likely to be the way that this game concludes. And this UKF position, wow, I mean, okay, so yeah, UKF player is going to recapture East. Axis boots get onto West. So, I mean, Inkaruna playing for as much time as possible here. And these Panzer IVs are looking kind of fine now. Now that the Crocodile is down, I mean, one of them's got the armoured skirts, that's a really significant upgrade. The AEC here has to be careful. The 2 Panzer IVs could lunge in. Oh no, the Hex Pounders are just not in position at all. So they get caught out. Now the AEC's on the chopping block. Has to pop smoke. Oh, smoke was not available. He had no munitions. So he loses the command tank. Now it's the Cromwell and the 2 Hex Pounders, which are so flustered. One of the Panzer IVs goes down, so that's okay. Where is that pack gun firing from? Oh, here it is. So there's a pack gun here, which is going to destroy this Cromwell, basically. Now the question is, will the Panzer IV be able to get out? Or will these Hex Pounders put too many holes in it? No, it gets out. So, okay, well, now the Cromwell goes down. Oh, no. No, the pack gun's out of range. Now it's the Panzer IV and the wounded Cromwell here. Oh, no, he just exposes the arse armor. Oh, God, nice kill. Panzer IV rolls a miss. Faust comes through. He gets one more shot on the Cromwell. It's not going to be enough, though. And that's looking really nice here. What? Hang on, what? Did he just, like, miss-micro the Panzer IV so that the turret traverse was off? and it couldn't take that shot, because I feel sure that the rate of fire on the Cromwell is not that much better than the rate of fire on a Panzer IV. And yeah, Inkaruna going to GG there. If he wasn't going to GG there, he'd probably GG at the sight of this Comet, which is about to finish as well, of course. So yeah, a pretty convincing win there from Quiritz. Things getting a little bit hairy in the later stages of the mid-game. A lot of big fights and some exchanges there, looking a little bit close, but able to convert some, like, just massively dominant early game into a win there for Quiritz. So nicely done. Inkaruna giving as good of an account as they could have, but in the end it's not enough. And whilst the German infantry style is clearly strong, you know, veteran squad upgrades are good, stormtroopers are good, I don't really feel like this commander offered enough in this battlefield. You know, I don't really feel like the veteran squad upgrades were enough on these grenadiers to help them overcome the Tommies. They were still just getting bullied around. Like, the dynamics of that interaction weren't like significantly altered by having a 5th man with a G43. So I don't know, yet again, German infantry doctrine, I can see that there's value there. I can see that it's a good commander, but really outside of Skeletron and maybe a couple of other games, I've yet to see it kind of really justify the acclaim that it seems to have in the minds of Mac players right now. Like, clearly it's a usable commander. There is value there, but I just wonder if it's being overrepresented or if it's just kind of in fashion right now, you know? I don't know. I'm just not I just think it's being overrepresented in the meta. I don't think it's as strong as people think. That's just how I feel from the games I've seen. Cool. So yeah, 2 fun games there that we found on the ladder. Nice, good stuff. Yeah, I guess that does conclude this video. So thank you very much for spending your time with me today on the channel. And this for now, Magpie842 signing out.